How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video where this time we are doing something that's a little bit different. I have asked my Discord server, which by the way, if you want to join that, link is in the description. I had members of my Discord server send their very own Paleoart to a specific channel that I had created for a couple days. That way I could feature said Paleoart in this video, and we can basically just like look at how insanely talented everybody is, because everybody provided some very amazing work in general. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at this art and talking about it and, just kind of featuring it on the channel. All of these artists will have their social medias in the bottom left corner if you want to go and check out more of their work. I know that some of them do have commissions or do have shops, so if you want to check out that stuff and help support them, then definitely do that. But all around, we do seriously have some amazing work to look at, so let's get right into it. There's also a decent amount of paleo art to look at as well, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, so just kind of like sit back, relax, and just check out some awesome work in general. So first was provided by the rodent right here. We got some 3 really awesome Cenozoic creatures. I think this might be a Calicotherium. If I'm incorrect about the identification of any of these creatures featured, be sure to let me know in the comments, especially the artist. If you were intending a different animal, be sure to let me know. But I really love the work on this one. The shading looks fantastic, and I love the way that the head looks, and those arms look great. I'm not too sure about this one. I want to say that it's maybe Andrewsarchus. That's kind of like the vibe that it's given me. The texturing of the fur looks really cool, and again, all around, this looks insane. The insane amount of detail in these are just fantastic. We're starting off on a good note. Of course, this is a giant ground sloth. Not too sure which one. It could be Erematherium or it could be Megatherium. Regardless, it looks beautiful. Look at this fur. This fur looks great. I love the lighter fur that emphasizes like lighting coming in from different directions, which I'm sure is just art 101, but it just looks good. It all looks really good. These are some really fantastic ones to start off with. Next up was by Ali. We got a really cool little dinosaur just kind of like snuggled in the snow. I love the way that the snow looks, and I love that kind of like silhouette of the mountains as you have the sun in the background. I also really like the way that the snow looks and how it's like on the actual animal as it lies down. The feather coverage on it looks so good. I love when feathers cover part of the snout like that, and all around just another fantastic creature design. And then this one is physical, which of course the physical media is also really awesome. We started off with it. We have a Brachiosaurus depicted here with some awesome shading, and the whole shape of it looks really good. Really reminiscent to older depictions of Brachiosaurus. And I love the little dude for scale. So all around, more fantastic depictions. Down here, done by Red, their favorite pieces. We have a Nanuqsaurus down here. Love this art style in general. I love the way that the snow coverage looks, and I love the way that this Nanuqsaurus looks, especially with that tail. That's not really something I've seen too much of, but you got that classic white coloration with some black kind of mixed in there, and then we'll move on from that, and we got the Allosaurus. I love seeing dinosaurs just kind of like chilling and doing regular animal things, and not just simply hunting and things like that, which of course they did do, but it's cool to see the different sides. I love the patterns on this Allosaurus. I really like the lacrimal crest that it has up here, and that counter shading looks really good too. And again, I just love seeing it just chill and act like an animal. This looks stunning. We have a Baryonyx that's being silhouetted by the moonlight. Love the way that this Baryonyx looks. It has some really nice colors, and I also really like that it has oral tissue, like lips. You don't see Spinosaurus portrayed with lips too often. I really like seeing that. The arms look great, and I really like seeing animals, like I really like seeing subjects being silhouetted, like being, what's the proper way to say that? Silhouetted? I don't feel like that's right. That just kind of feels incorrect. I just like the way that this looks. It looks beautiful. This Dilophosaurus also looks great. Dilophosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs. I really like how jagged this crest looks. It's very different from most other depictions we've seen. And I really like the scales that are kind of like lining its mouth down here, and a nice green coloration in its eye. It also looks really good with the blacks and the whites. All around, it just looks so good. I also really like this red down here on its throat. That just gives it a nice little added detail. Another silhouette of a flying reptile, Quetzalcoatlus, also looks stunning. I love how you can see the light kind of shining through its membrane. Really gives it that added detail. And those stars look really good too. Man, this is another beautiful work, another beautiful piece of art that just, imagine just like walking around in the Mesozoic and you just see a Quetzalcoatlus fly as it's nighttime. I'd be quite terrified if I'm being honest. And then this fella is Bambiraptor. You don't see too many depictions of Bambiraptor, so it's always a treat to see one when it does pop up. Really nice blue coloration up here with some, I think, some purple coloration mixed in with that. Some black and gray down here, and I just love the way that his head looks. I also really like the way the feathers go up right here. Looks very naturalistic and just very realistic in general. So absolutely beautiful. Down here, done by Chihuahua, we have Chandrasaurus, which it's a 50 by 120 centimeter canvas. So, hand painted and all that. And again, looks great. I love Chandrasaurus. We don't see too many depictions of that animal either. Of course, it's nicknamed the Pinocchio Rex because has like a longer, thinner snout, which is kind of like the nose of Pinocchio, I suppose. But yeah, I really do like the way that these guys look. I love their colors. I love the way that the feathers look. And I love the little juvenile that we have down here too. Just looks great in general. Now down here, we got red, this time in all caps. And we got some Tyrannosaurus like side view, profile views, plus with these two kind of like just I love that. It's like a little bit of behavior just kind of like portrayed in the art. And I also really like the sparse hair-like feathers, which is something that is likely for T-Rex. We get some really cool colors here. Love the way that this one looks, some dark coloration mixed in with the light. This one looks really cool too with the brown. I really like that one. I don't know what it is about that one, but I really like it. That one's also really cool. Nice kind of like pink coloration as well. All feel like very naturalistic colors and just look fantastic. Blueosaurus. I've been watching a lot of Bluey recently. My daughter loves it. Heck, I love that show. We got a nice Dilophosaurus skull right here. Looks really good. Has that little notch right there. I like the shading down here. Like, the other side of the skull. It looks good. Gives it a lot of really nice depth, and that crest looks fantastic. Those hand-drawn stuff are very impressive because that's mostly how I draw. I'm not good at drawing. Let me be clear with that. But that's whenever I do draw, it's usually hand drawn because my wife does have Procreate, but I don't understand that thing. Um, this looks fantastic, though. This is done by Shockwave, and I have actually seen these before. When TikTok was going to get banned, they made me some fan art, which was a very nice thing to do, and I think that they look incredible. Of course, they're based off of my profile picture, which is a Spinosaurus. It's not a Monolophosaurus. I might have burst a few bubbles out there, but it is a Spinosaurus. And that's basically this. It's like a realistic depiction of my profile picture, which is some added nice colors. Like I love the greens mixed in with the blues and the dark blues. Like I think the kind of purples. The teeth also look great. And of course, my classic hat that I wear most of the time whenever I can. Also, this nice yellow and red coloration on the crest. I love that. I think that gives it like just a very nice flair. I love contrasting colors like that, and that's a great example. Also, it looks like there's a little bit of like a pin. I don't actually have a pin on my hat, but I should probably get one. I think that's like either a bison skull or a bull skull, a bovine skull. One of those. You see a little bit better right there. It kind of looks like a bison. But this also is in that same vein, same colors and everything, but this time it's swimming. Looks really, really good. And then we have this one that's kind of like in the same vein of some of the art that's done by Clever Bunny Company. They do all these like really cool stylized dinosaur designs, and a lot of them are like in this pose. And I love the fact that that was done. It's cool. There was some inspiration taken from that. So all of these look really cool, and it was really a nice thing to do. I think that these look fantastic. Down here by Barricade, we have a stylized baryonyx. Well, a fictional species of baryonyx, which I think is very cool. I love seeing stylized depictions like that, especially like bringing in some like fictional species. It has some spikes going on here. Nice red coloration with a blue mouth. I really like blue mouths on reptiles. There's just something about that is just so crazy to me. All around, I think it looks great as like a stylized depiction of an animal like that. Certainly has a lot of very interesting traits about it, and would be terrifying to come across in life. Down here by Fam B, we have a very cool looking Allosaurus. Now, I love how pronounced that lacrimal crest is and how different the color is from the rest of it. And just overall, the whole general shape, I think, looks great. I also really love this throat pouch that it has down here, especially with that shading incorporated with it. It gives it a lot of depth. I don't know how you guys can do pen things. Like, I've tried to draw with pens. It don't work for me. But we got a lot of really cool creatures down here. We got a Parasaurolophus that looks great. Got a Mosasaurus. We got a Dimetrodon. Either a Brachiosaurus or a Giraffatitan. Carnotaurus, a Oviraptor, Dunkleosteus, which looks beautiful. Look at that head. A Velociraptor, and same face. I love that. All just really amazing work. But again, with the pen, I can't do it. And then down here, Carnotaurus. I love how bulky this fella is. And just those horns look great, and I love the kind of spikes it has back here. And that shading just man, shading's hard. You guys do great at that. The last Spinosaur right here has some concept art for a book that they're writing. We get a Carnotaurus that's all saddled up. Again, the shading looks really good, and I love the overall shape of the animal. A Mosasaur that is also shadowed up, or saddled up, shadowed, wow, saddled up. It has like a little bit of like a glass dome, which I think is really interesting. It also has a very interesting shape about it, and it like has these kind of spikes down here, which might be connected to whatever's on its flipper right there. Gives it some added lore. Gotta love that. Therizinosaurus right here with very, very interesting proportions and those very classic long claws. And, Therizinosaurus had the longest claws of any animal to ever exist, which is crazy. And we have like a concavinator down here, identified through this kind of hump-like structure that it has towards its hips. I like how it doesn't have a saddle on, but it does have a collar, which of course implies that it's still domesticated. And I'd have to say that this is a Majungasaurus, judging of course by the shape of its skull, which is very Majungasaurus-like, as well as this sort of horn-like structure that it has on its head. Also has a collar, and all around, very much looks like a Majungasaurus. I love it. Shockwave also provided this right here, which is just two Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurs taking down the Jurassic Park Spinosaurus, doing some justice to the Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex, which unfortunately lost its life back in 2001. This shading is amazing though, especially with the details of the scales and all that. It's just, how do you guys do stuff like this? It's so insane. This is so good. Like that is just crazy. Look at that. Got this one biting down right here, and this one back here, and and then the Spinosaurus is like, no. It's so cool. And then we have a fluffy Therizinosaurus. Love the way that that looks. Done by Ben the Admonosaurus, of course. Love this. The feathers, I think, look really good, and I love the colors of them, and I love the coverage of the feathers up here. That eye looks great. I like it. So very, very good profile of Therizinosaurus, I think. Down here we have Corvidae, who provided some really cool skeletal, like skull pictures. Why I lose words. I assume this fella is Giganotosaurus. It's got like a really cool, structures up here. Moves up to the eyebrow ridge. I really like the shading, and I like the little kind of cracks, essentially, like the little divots, I guess, in the skull. Makes it really feel real. Or this Tyrannosaurus that has a lot of the same things I just mentioned. Just looks fantastic overall. This Pachycephalosaurus looks great. I like how you can really see the sort of sharp teeth that it has towards the front of its mouth. Something that might imply that Pachycephalosaurus was possibly omnivorous. We don't have any confirmation on that, but it is a possibility. Very nice skull right there. I think Pachyrhinosaurus has a very distinct skull, and that certainly captures it. And then this right here looks like Velociraptor, given the shape of the skull. This one, I think the shading looks really, really good, and you get to see, where the animal's soft tissue would be present, when it was covered in life. So it's like a proper skeletal. Looks really good. Again, you guys are just insanely talented. And then also the Spinosaurus right here with some really cool head crest up here and what kind of looks like some feathers, which is interesting because I don't see too much of that in media. So very awesome, very unique. Down here, provided by Extinctions, we have a very cool looking Triceratops. Love the proportions. The head shape looks great. Also, it really captures how strange like ceratopsians forelimbs are with those weird looking feet. This is a Proceratosaurus, which I believe is inspired from Gabriel Gueto's Proceratosaurus, at least down to the colors. The feathers look really good, and I really like the way that crest looks too. And the shading I think was just pulled off very well. And I want to say that this is either a Carcharodontosaurus or a Giganotosaurus, but I'm not too sure. I want to say it's Carcharodontosaurus. That head looks really good, properly like a Carcharodontosaurid, and I like the pose that it's in. It's like kind of facing the camera, but not at the same time. It's kind of tilted away. Just looks really good. The shading looks fantastic. Down here we have Dewdraws, who has provided their OC Tyrone, the T-Rex, and then these two are Deinonychus, his OC Dylan, the brown raptor, and Valera, the light beige or off-white raptor. So here's Valera and Dylan, of course. Very cool colors and very cool stylized look about them. I also really like the way that their feathers look. This is Tyrone, the Tyrannosaurus right here. He's got a scar up here. Poor fella, but all around he's got like a bulky build. I just love the way that he looks. Just has a lot of character to it. I really like that. And in the snow too, you get some really nice snowflakes, which I really like the way that they look in front of him, especially gives the image a lot of depth, which I think just looks fantastic. I also really like his lacrimal horns up here, or his eyebrow ridge, which that looks more like an eyebrow ridge. But the colors also look really cool together too. And then we have Dylan with a snowman. Can't go wrong with that. Again, the coverage of the feathers looks really good. These are done by Pilkington, and these look really good. I think that they have an Etsy shop, which of course will be in the bottom left corner. Definitely go and check out their stuff because look at this. I'm probably gonna have to buy something myself because they sell prints of their hand-drawn images. Really cool Dilophosaurus with some feather coverage, as well as just a very, very nice looking crest. Carnotaurus right here that has some like orangish yellow, or well, yellow, red coloration with some black up here in the nest. Also looks phenomenal. This Baryonyx looks so good too with those blues, like the bright blue crest. Also, it has a fish because it's piscivore. I love it. And this Edmontosaurus looks great too. Some nice blues. I just love blue on dinosaurs. You know, blue's rare in nature, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I like it. It's got a bird on it too, and the proportions look fantastic. This is of course Edmontosaurus regalis, which of course they did list. Mostly noted by this fleshy comb that it had. Oviraptor. Look at the texturing of those feathers and the detail is just phenomenal. And this Quetzalcoatlus, I love the colors on this Quetzalcoatlus, and the folding of the wings looks great. The blue on the beak and this crest up here, this just looks so good. It's phenomenal. Really amazing work right there. Like that is just insane. Also some monochrome hand-drawn sketches for promo. Really cool looking Gallimimus right here. Thanatus draken, which is a pterosaur that's not often depicted, but it looks so good right here as it's just that unfortunate creature. You got Ishii down here. Ishii looks really, really good right here. I love Ishii. It's just such a strange and unique creature. This Tylosaur that unfortunately has a poor unfortunate soul that it's eaten. And this Torosaurus with a broken horn too. Gives it some character. I love that. And Ichthyovenator. We don't see a lot of Ichthyovenators in Paleoart, and I love seeing it whenever we do. I love Ichthyovenator because it has like a very interesting sail. You know, it's like it starts off right here, and then starts moving over here, and it's like a very low sail too, and it dips down right before the hip, but then it picks back up, goes down the tail. It's like, make up your mind. You know, do you want to be a sail or not? It's just, I love it. Ichthyovenator just has a very interesting silhouette to me. After that, we have Cozy down here. These guys are all a project for a story of theirs. We got a Deinonychus right here because there's some lore in this. You could tell. Look at this fella. There's a lot of character to him. Very cool looking feathers up here. The feathers down here look really good too. All around, this just looks phenomenal. Hound, Allosaurus jamedsoni. Did this one have a name and I just completely missed it? No. Okay. Makes sense. Making sure, but yeah, you could definitely tell that there's a lot of lore involved because this guy's all armored up, got a machine gun too, all the way down to a machine gun. And I really like how the armor covers his lacrimal crests and even kind of leads into a little bit of a spike on his nose. It's just a very fun detail. This Spinosaurus, which looks really, really cool. I love how overall thick it is. I love the way that crest looks and the snout, and I like how it has like a single tooth jutting out. My Chihuahua has like a similar tooth jutting out, and the tail also looks phenomenal. Colors are a huge standout too, in my opinion. This Tyrannosaur that has a really, really cool coloration, probably, you know, of course, albino coloration, and some sparse feathering, which, again, I love. I absolutely love seeing sparse feathering like that. It certainly makes it feel real. And then this Pyroraptor right here is just jamming out to some tunes. A lot of character to that. Look at that. It's a work animal. That is just so fun. That is just so fun. That is so cool. And the colors are really, really cool, too. It kind of looks like it was selectively chosen to be like that. Which I love that. It's got goggles too. It's got goggles. A Pyroraptor with goggles. You can't go wrong with that. Next up is Delta K7 that also is creating their own story where it's like people have their own dinosaurs. It's kind of like in the same vein as Dinosaur King. So we get like a guy right here with his Ankylosaur. And they very much look like they go together. Of course, it's called Primal Legacy, which my face is blocking it. So bloop, bloop. Primal Legacy is what this is called. Love the colors. Whoops. Love the colors. I love the black and white and gray. And again, these two just very much look like they go together. So, and this very much looks like an Ankylosaur head. I think that like I think there was like a A lot of really good work done on that in particular. Down here by AU Tyrannus, we have Oviraptor, Philoceratops, of course, which is the species name. Very cool looking crest, and I love the overall shape of this animal. That beak looks really good. I love the way that it kind of like juts right up here. I just love beaks that are shaped like that. And the feathers also look really good too. Very nice shading in that. And the eye. Love that eye. Very much an very much a good eye. Next up, we have Gaten Cass. If I mispronounce that, I apologize. But we got a really cool skeletal of a Lambeosaurine. I think it's Corythosaurus, but honestly, I get Lambeosaurines kind of mixed up all the time. So I don't know, but I like the way that it looks. I think there's a lot of really good detail to this, and it looks very much a lot like the skeletal structure that you would find of hadrosaurs in general. So very good work on that. Also, this Gigantospinous, work right here, which is a Stegosaurid. I really like this in particular because I used to do similar stuff all the time. I used to like have whole books filled up with dinosaurs that I would draw, and I'd provide information for them and stuff like that. So this certainly takes me back, and I love the way that it looks. It's very organized. I love seeing organized things, mostly because I am not an organized person. So great to see the life that I'll never live. Oh, the upper one is supposed to be Corythosaurus. Okay, I think I was right the first time. I just get Lambeosaurines mixed up. That's a me thing. But silver, I have seen this one before. We get a Tyrannosaur that is like a toucan. I love when we apply modern day animal colors to extinct creatures. There's just something about that I think is just very cool. So we get like toucan colors on a Tyrannosaurus Rex, complete with the white coloration, the black coloration, and even though T-Rex doesn't have a beak, it still has the same color, which is cool, especially with the tip up here that is a lot more black. And I also really, really like the kind of gradient that you have right here, leading from the red color going down into the orange and into the yellow. Very good work in general, and just a very, very fun piece. We have another Ichthyovenator done by Golden. You cannot go wrong with Ichthyovenator. Again, its silhouette is very much emphasized right here. Again, I just love the way the silhouette works. I don't know how you guys can pull off that foot. I've tried to do theropod feet many times, like in that walking motion. I just can't do it. You guys are wizards. But yeah, it has that very classic Ichthyovenator sail going up right here. Dip. Going back up, moving. Very beautiful work. Provided from Cryolophosaurus, we have a Cryolophosaurus. It very much does look like the animal. I really like those simplistic designs that, of course, very much do look like the animals that they're representing. And this does have the trait that Cryolophosaurus is most known for, that being its crest right here that kind of goes laterally, to the side instead of going front to back, like most other crests would. It also has that overall longer, like kind of slender build. It just looks really cool. It looks like it has a lot of character to it. From Striggy down here, we have a few pieces of work, one of them being Dinotherium, which is perfect timing because I just watched an episode of Walking with Beasts that had Dinotherium in it. And some redesigned, it looks like three redesigned critter. I can't speak. 3 redesigned critters from Jurassic Park / World franchise, which is very cool. So first, we have the Dinotherium here. Love the colors on its trunk. Makes it stand out. It's like, that's so different. This little scale right here looks great. And the texturing looks really good too. Like the lines that emphasize different like muscles and all that and provides extra shading. Looks so good. And the eye with the blue coloration, and of course that very strange tusk that goes down, or 2 tusks. It has 2 tusks, of course. It's just, the other one's covered. Yeah, Dinotherium was a weird elephant relative. You can very much tell right here, but this looks beautiful. Then we have Iguanodon. This looks great. Looks so much more like Iguanodon. It has like a thicker neck. The arms are properly beefy with that huge claw. Thumb claw, and the very strange looking hands. And all around, a lot of the lines I think look great, how they emphasize different muscles. Just looks fantastic. Then we have Megaraptor here with some sparse feathering, which is always something that I love to see, and those very powerful arms that, it's likely that Megaraptors prioritized using their arms more so than their bite, and you can very much tell that right here with those huge claws. Very terrifying. And this Dimetrodon. Love the way that this guy looks. I really like its stance. I really like the kind of tough skin that it has going on here. And again, those lines just look so good. I don't get how people could do stuff like that. And the sail. The sail looks really, really good too. All around, another very beautiful piece of work. And from Guy right here, we have another awesome looking Dilophosaurus with some sparse feathers up here and sparse feathers down here. Love the way that the crest looks. Of course, Dilophosaurus with its crest its crest is incomplete, like it's broken. So we don't precisely know how big the crest was or what shape it was. So most depictions are pretty much fair game. A lot of people like to depict them with a bigger crest, which is like my favorite way to depict it. And that's represented here. Love the way that it looks. I love the overall shape of it, and the shape of its head looks really good too. As well as this Yangchuanosaurus. Love Yangchuanosaurus as well. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but Yangchuanosaurus is one of those dinosaurs that I think stands out because it has a very interesting, like shaped head, complete with a crest that covers basically the whole nasal portion of its head. That's emphasized here with this red coloration that is in nice contrast to the green coloration of the body with the counter shading of yellow and this blue coloration right here. All around, very, very good work. And then from Shin Godzilla right here, we get four really cool pieces of work right here. We have an Orthocaris right here, which is depicted like an ice cream cone, which I just think is just awesome. It's just really awesome, and like mint, mint ice cream. I don't know. I just really like it. And then right here we have a pterosaur that I know I cannot pronounce, like Sungaripterus, I think. Regardless, I love the shape of it and I love the colors of it too. Very nicely stylized, and those patterns look so cool. It looks like it was very difficult to pull off. This looks really good. And like it's one of those pterosaurs that has a very interesting shaped head, and that is emphasized right here. And then we have a very cool looking side view of a Pachyrhinosaurus skull. One of my favorite dinosaurs. This is Pachyrhinosaurus lacustae, identified mostly by having these kind of like horn-like structures that grow on the base of the skull or the base of the frill. This looks great. I love the mixtures of the colors. I think that they all go very well together to give it a lot of really nice depth. And yeah, I just love it. And then a very cool Xiphactinus that is depicted in Mother's Oh My Heart album cover, which I don't have a frame of reference of that, but it looks so good right here. I love the kind of shine that it has down here. Makes it, with that lighting source, of course. Xiphactinus is one of those fish that just has a very terrifying mouth, and you can very much tell right here. That mouth is horrifying with those teeth that kind of jut out forward. This is very much a fish that you would not want to get bit by. And again, you could tell right here. But amazing work. Then we have Pokesaurus down here. So I actually volunteered at the same museum that Pokesaurus volunteers at, like for a little bit. I didn't get to volunteer there too much. So I have seen quite a bit of his work, and it always looks amazing. So we have a Daspletosaurus right here with some really cool colors and some really cool like lacrimal horns or crests and a really cool nasal ridge. Very awesome side view of a Tyrannosaur skull. Gets all of the, it's accurate. Very much looks like a T-Rex skull, and I just love the way that it looks. And then Caprasuchus as Knuckles. That's just, you can't go wrong with something like that. Just look at his face. Look at that face. You can't go wrong with it. And this one I actually did see. He did show this to me when I was up there one of those days. This is one of his favorite dinosaurs is Nanotyrannus, and he depicted it as like in place of Death from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which it fits. Look at that. Look at that elongated snout. Like Death has a very iconic design. I feel that it's like a very well made design, and I think that this fits that very well. So I especially love seeing like the two fingers instead of just like the singular finger pointing. Very cool stylized design right here. From Dish Soap, we have this awesome stylized, I want to say Tyrannosaur, with some very jagged teeth, and overall kind of like really interesting looking appearance. I want to say that these are probably some like sparse feathers up here that looks really cool, and the shading was you just nailed the shading. I also really like the way that the eye looks. I like the kind of shading that went around the eye right there, and the shading over here. Shading's hard. I'm not good at shading, but you guys nail it every single time. From Dragon King 74478, we get what is this one? Arctotherium, right? Yeah, that is horrifying. I love how chunky he is though. Look at that. I also really like how, you got the light source right here, and you can see it shining on the back of the animal's back, or just on the animal's back. I don't know. I don't know how to speak, but I love the way that fellow looks. This Majungasaurus looks so good. Look at that. It looks like it's 3D. That is so good. The shading is immaculate. The head looks great. I love the structure that it has on the nasal portion of its skull that kind of leads into that very classic unicorn horn type thing that Majungasaurus had. And the colors also look really good, and a lot of really cool mixtures of browns. Got a T-Rex right here. Also, you know, you can see the light source and see it shining right there. I don't know. I know that's probably just like 101 with art, but I just think it looks cool. I love the eyebrow ridge that's presented right here, and I like those teeth that are kind of poking out. It's talking to Triceratops down there, which also looks really good. And of course, the classic Archaeopteryx in its death pose. Something like this typically happens after an animal has died. Its tendons will start to kind of like contract, and it will pull the animal into a very unnatural looking pose. And this is how the animal was fossilized. You can actually see the fossil like this. So this is depicting it like after it died and after that death pose took form. Looks so good. The shading looks fantastic. I love all of these rocks all over the place too. Looks very real, and I just love the way that it looks. The official Tyrannus edits. We have a Albertosaurus sarcophagus, which I love the blue. I love the blue with the kind of stripes right back here and that mixed in with the spots gives it a very cool look about it. And these structures that we have up here also look fantastic. I know it's not finished. It's a work in progress. And I think you sent the finished work in progress later in the video. So I'll probably or later in the server, because I think I saw this towards the bottom. So I'll probably check that out when we get there. Legless Junior Lemon has, look at this. Look at this. Look at that beautiful Ceratosaurus with sparrows on it. And these little velociraptors down here. Incredibly accurate work. Like this very much looks like a Ceratosaurus, and these very much look like velociraptors. And the humans look really good too, and the lighting is incredible. This one is amazing, and I just love the colors on the Ceratosaurus. Those crests that it has, you know, on its head look great. And yeah, no, just immaculate work. I also really like the scales on it, like towards its snout. It's like moving into those thicker scales. Beautiful work. Down here we have Dodge that has provided some really cool Pachyrhinosaurus art, and these two Edmontosaurs over here. That looks amazing. We have Pachyrhinosaurus lacustai, of course. The proportions look good. The shading looks awesome. It looks like these guys are in snow, which is always really cool. And these two look great. This Triceratops that is just, look at that. That pose looks really good, and it was captured very well. And the shading looks so good. You have these large random scales that Triceratops did very much have, and I love how it's like kind of like poking its head down like this, you know, so its brow horns could move forward a little bit more. And I really like the shape of the frill. On top of that, we also have some toy photography, which is always really cool. We got an Ionosaurus right here, that's a really cool figure. I kind of want that. And I want to say that's a Miragaia. Certainly looks like it. Got that long neck, which I want a Miragaia figure. Is it? I think it is. If I'm wrong, sure to let me know. These look really good too. Now we're back to Guy, who submitted some toy photography down here. And that's the same Yangchuanosaurus that I have back there. I don't think you can see it, but it's like looking up at the night sky. Very cool. Of course, we have a Lambeosaurine, which I can't remember which one this is. I want to say it's Lambeosaurus. I don't remember. We got a Spinosaur out here in the water. You guys are certainly a lot more brave with your figures than I am. I get scared that I'm going to lose it. And a Tyrannosaur right here. Also looks really awesome. Here's some more from Red. We have a few creatures portrayed right here. It's going to be a Gigantoraptor, a Baryonyx, a Mother Baryonyx, a Sinosauropteryx, Compsognathus, Austroraptor, T-Rex family, Carnotaurus, and another Sinosauropteryx. So here's the Gigantoraptor. I love the way that looks. I love how its head is just wrapping around the tree. Let's look at that lighting. That is just so cool. And these colors look really cool too. Got a Baryonyx. Love the way that this fellow looks. Again, the lighting, and I love the throat pouch that it has going on right here, and that crest looks really cool. Mother Baryonyx carrying its young in its mouth like modern day alligators do. Can't go wrong with stuff like that. Also, the colors look great. This little Sinosauropteryx covered in mushrooms. That is so adorable. I love that. Sinosauropteryx is one of the few dinosaurs that we have the colors. Like we know what colors it was, and it was these colors. Looks good. I think this one was the let's see, it was a Sinos. Oh, Compsognathus. Hello. Look at those feathers. Look at that. It looks like it has like a little bit of a sheen to it too. That looks so cool. I love the way that looks. I think I keep saying I love the way that looks, but seriously, everybody is insanely talented. Austroraptor, right? Right? Yeah. Austroraptor. Austroraptor is easily my favorite dromaeosaur. So this looks so cool. Nice kind of like silhouette of the animal. You know, this the light back here looks really cool, just kind of like shining down at it as it's just like looking down. It has that longer snout that Ostroraptor did have. Beautiful work. The Tyrannosaur family snacking on a Triceratops over here with these younger individuals that are a little bit more thin with their proportions compared to the adult that is a lot more bulky. Just awesome. Ooh, Carnotaurus. Look at that. A light show going on. Wow. That is amazing. I really like the vegetation right here. Just all looks so real. That is insane. And then, yeah, the other Sinosauropteryx. These are insane, though. Like, look at that. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. That is amazing. And then after that, we have Alex underscore the underscore great. I don't think I had to do that, but we got a Dunkleosteus right here that looks so cool and so terrifying. That is one placoderm fish that I would not want to come across. And this is why. Look at that. I love the light shining through like that. It just gives it so much cool depth. It is a donkey in the ocean, an armored Allosaurus roaming the plains, and some Proceratosaurus being visited by some space travelers. Ooh. And then as well as the design sheet of an armored dinosaur comics rebirth on my Insta. Okay. So an armored Allosaurus. I love that. Look at those mountains. Reminds me of home, where I live right now. I'm not gone from home. It just reminds me of where I am right now. It looks so cool though. And these, look at that, being visited. Dude, I love that. Stuff like this that 65 could have probably done. Imagine that imagery in a high budget movie. They probably wouldn't do it as well, if I'm being honest. This looks beautiful. This looks stunning. I love it. And then this armored fella. That looks so cool. He got the spike on the tail too. Wow, man, the work is immaculate. I love the way that that looks. And then down here we have Darth Noob 699. We got a really cool looking Tyrannosaurus Rex right here that looks like it has a little bit like some feathers just kind of like covering the back of it. Very cool in general. Again, I really like those simplified dinosaur designs that, you know, you can still very much tell what is being depicted, and that is very much what I can tell. I also really like the addition of the lacrimal horn up here. So all around, very good work. Toucan, the Latinaviatrix. So we got some stylized creatures down here. Retrosaurs, as they are called. Yeah, it looks like Iguanodon right here, because it even has like the nasal horn that we once thought Iguanodon had. Megalosaurus by the looks of it. That is so cool. That would have to be well, that's probably Stegosaurus, right? Or is it Hylaeosaurus? I think it's probably Stegosaurus. And a pterosaur. They are very much retro. I love that. I love retro dinosaurs. And they, like, what's funny, I don't know. We don't see too many depictions of retro dinosaurs, and so whenever I see them, it's like a treat. I love these. These look great. Now, these are from Matt G. That has quite a few trade right here. So we have a Tyrannosaurus down to those colors. It very much looks like the prehistoric planet Tyrannosaurus Rex. Those colors are also really cool, and the head looks fantastic. This Triceratops that also seems like it's a little bit inspired. I think it's a little bit different, but the colors seem pretty similar overall. This Edmontosaurus that is inspired from Prehistoric Planet, that looks so cool though. I love the way that looks. I love me some Edmontosaurus designs. And I also really like the designs that go around the edge like that. That is really cool. And then Ankylosaurus, of course, which I've seen this design somewhere before, but I can't remember from what. So it's like inspired from something that I can't remember, I think. Oh, this Torosaurus, that it seems like it's taken some inspiration from the beasts of the Mesozoic Torosaurus, which I love. You know, I think those colors are very cool. And again, just these patterns look fantastic. I love it. I want to say that is Alamosaurus. Am I right? Yes, I am. Very good. Very good. I love that. I love this Titanosaur build, especially with those kind of osteoderms towards the back. It just looks really cool. Ooh, and this Pachyrhinosaurus. It's got some like little filaments over here on its tail as well. Love that horn, and I love the way that the boss looks too. This little Quetzalcoatlus right here. Love that green. That green on the throat and on the crest. Looks really cool. And this woolly mammoth, of course, which again just looks really cool. Woolly mammoths are, are usually animals that are really cool to see depicted. Back down here to Striggy, who, let's see, this time, the time that I have my weird birds arrow, which I think is something that's on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Danger bird with a fresh new kill at the rooftop of one of the buildings in school. Oh, that's interesting. Little pterosaur down here, of course, and of course, this very much looks like a dromaeosaur. Love the feathering. The coverage of the feathers look great. I love how they go onto the snout like that, and the arm also looks really good. And Ankylosaurus from Eurasian Lynx. Oh, look at that. I love that. I love that. That looks like something I could get on a shirt. You know, like I really like those kind of shirts that have like very simplistic designs that also just like look really accurate. This is something I'd like to see. That'd be really cool. Then we have Grim Arts for Real or FR. Ooh. Wow. That got okay. My head is in the way. Meow. So we got like a little bit of a stylized T-Rex. It's very chunky, very much looks like a T-Rex, and I love the scarring too. These colors, these patterns that it has looks fantastic, and I love these kind of like feathers or quills that go off on the tail. That looks so cool. Scarring down here too. Scarring over here. That looks so cool. Look at this. Wow, scarring right here. It's very gnarly, and I love how jagged all of this looks up here too. That's so cool. That is wow, that is a very unique T-Rex design. I love that. I've never seen one like quite in that same vein. That's really cool. We'll go ahead and move on from that to Kukimon right here that has some more toy photography, some like classic dinosaur toys that I have, of course, seen before. Also, probably a big part of my childhood, these type of dinosaurs. So like a Dilophosaurus, there's a little bit more like the Jurassic Park one. A mosasaur that is very much like the Jurassic World one. I really like the way that these were photographed though. Just like being surrounded by the black and the lighting looks really good too. I like it. And the Spinosaur. I love that. Got a sauropod, stegosaur. Look at that. I love that focus. We're back to the Dilophosaur. I like these. I really like these. You know, they kind of remind me of my childhood. M giraffe right here with some more skulls. We got, I want to say that's a Velociraptor. It's got the Sclerotic green. Sclerotic, whatever. And then the Spinosaurus down here, which also looks beautiful. Very amazing work on these, like on the actual bones. Got another Lambeosaurine right here with the dental battery, like complete with that too. And the shading looks really good as well. And then a T-Rex that's kind of tilted more towards us. Love the way that that looks. And again, the shading looks phenomenal. I really like the way these guys look. I can't speak properly. Acrocantho provided what I want to say is an Allosaurus with, again, some very cool shading involved. Also has some spikes up here, which is really cool. And just all around, this looks fantastic. It's like a very cool design. Now we have from Kiwisaurus Rex. A lot of these are dragon-like. That are based off of more outrageous dinosaur theories and reconstructions. So sweet. Let's see that. This one looks really cool. I like the way that it looks. I really like the pose it has too. It's like it's kind of like it has like translucent skin, I think. That's interesting. I like that. Ooh, that looks interesting. I really like the blazing colors on this one, and especially in stark contrast to this one down here. Very cool. Very nice. Is this based off of the fire-breathing Parasaurolophus, that weird point in time that I guess that was proposed, or I don't even know if it was officially proposed. It has to be. It's like a Parasaurolophus with a dragon and wings. That's interesting. These look like Ouranosaurus, which I love. Ouranosaurus has a very cool looking head, and I really like the lighting here and the shading. The shading looks great. And this baby Ouranosaurus, and these Ouranosaurs over here, looks beautiful. It's like a scene straight out of Lion King, but it's not. Dinosaurs. Then right here we have a Spinosaur. I love the way that that sail looks, and of course the head looks great. Look at that! Look at this dude just kind of like just hanging out. There's like a little kiwi bird down here too. It's so adorable. I love that. Very good work. And then these ones are of course again from the official Zay Tyrannus edits. It looks like they are all kind of like fictional hybrids that they had done. It's very interesting though. I really like the texturing and the shading. Wow, look at that skull. Ankylosaurus, huh? That is something. That is interesting. Tyrannosuchus. Ooh, very horrifying. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'm bad at pronouncing things. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'm bad at pronouncing things. But it looks really cool. I like the way that these look. I think that these are like, these would be like really fun. Ultimasaurus Imperator. Is this like based off of the Ultimasaurus from the Jurassic toy line? That'd be cool. But I really like the way that those guys look. I think that like you know, given the right context, creatures like that would be really cool to see in movies. Number one Mipe fan, Sneke. So we get Mipe right here. Love the way that these guys look. I love the hair, or like sorry, the feathers that it has too. And this one down here with its mouth open looks horrifying. I love it. Ooh, Savia with a Scutosaurus, of course. Um, Also looks amazing. I love the sparse hair that it has. That looks so cool. This fella, Savia hunting a young Scutosaurus, Deinonychus in a tree. Yes, love that. Deinonychus probably did spend some time in the trees, which I love that. Absolutely love that. Another Mipe. Look at that, showing off its very terrifying claws. Because again, Megaraptors have these very horrifying claws that I just love when they're emphasized like that. And a Carnotaurus doing the very iconic dance. I love to see it. Very good job. Very good job on the shading as well. Got a really cool little creature right here, and it says that they drew every scale. And yes, you did. I love the depth and detail that this fella has. All around very cool work. I really like these interlocking teeth that it has and this kind of eyebrow ridge that it has going on and the stripes. Very cool. And yes, here is the Albertosaurus sarcophagus that I knew I saw towards the bottom. So here it is, finished in all of its glory with really, really cool colors, especially with that either sunset or sunrise in the background. Just very, very amazing work on this one. So yeah, that was your guys' Paleoarts. These are just absolutely amazing. There are some insanely talented people that are out there. Like these, I seriously, I loved every single one. They're all fantastic in their own ways too. Just all around, very good work to everyone who participated in this. So again, if you guys want to possibly be involved in any potential future video ideas that I might do, be sure you're a part of the Discord. I do have it linked in the description below. Hopefully the link is working. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm still trying to figure out how to combat that. I've tried a few different methods, but definitely try to join because I am going to try to do more videos like this where I involve the community because I just think that needs to be done because you guys, like, this shows that you guys are insanely talented and just very awesome at your own craft. So once again, thank you to everybody who participated in this. It really was a treat to look at all of your amazing work, and I'm seriously a huge fan of all of this. As someone who just loves to look at Paleoart, this was just something that was really awesome to do. But that is pretty much all I have for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like dinosaur related content, please consider commenting and subscribing. That really does help out a lot. And if you want to help support the channel in general, please consider checking out my Patreon. Thank you so much to all my patrons and my channel members. You guys are seriously helping out tremendously right now, and I really do appreciate you. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching and have an awesome day.